Hey guys, I'm Brittany Hughes. You're watching MRC TV, and here's your reality check. So do y'all remember all that voter fraud that we were told doesn't exist? You know, that non-problem that's led to slews of so-called racist laws requiring a person to show an ID so that we know that they are who they say they are before they vote? I mean, I guess that makes dentist offices, ABC stores, and banks racist too, but hey, what do I know? So yeah, it turns out that that problem of voter fraud actually is a problem. 20 dead people just mysteriously registered to vote in Virginia, indicating one of two frightening things. We should all invest in a good machete, or voter fraud is not the non-issue that liberals have made it out to be. Now, the Richmond Times-Dispatch reported last week that the names of 18 to 20 deceased Virginians were found on a voter registration list in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Now, these poor, unassuming corpses were registered by a student at James Madison University who worked for Harrisonburg Votes, a voter registration group that promised to raise the number of registered Harrisonburg voters from 17,000 to 25,000. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. Now, a worker at the local registrar's office only caught the error because she recognized a name on the list belonging to the late father of a well-known local judge. But apparently this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we're still only talking about Virginia, one state out of 50. The Public Interest Legal Foundation found that at least 1,046 non-citizens have been allowed to vote in the past two presidential elections in the Old Dominion state, which, by the way, is illegal. It's also enough votes to easily swing a close election, not just an election for president, but also for local and state officials. So how do we stop the madness and bring back the integrity of our election system? Well, this would take nothing more than applying run-of-the-mill common sense. We could start applying the basic, absolutely constitutional voter ID laws that some states have already enacted and other states are currently battling for in court. Requiring a person to prove that they are who they say they are and that they have a legal right to vote in this country is a basic defense of our election process. And to anyone who somehow says that these laws are racist, who thinks that mandating that a person show an ID at the polling booth somehow places an undue burden on minorities and persons of color in this country, I would suggest that it is more racist to say a black or Hispanic person is too dumb or incompetent to go down to the local DMV and pick up an ID card. But I'm probably just a little white girl talking about crap I don't understand, right? Well, you don't have to take my word for it. Check it out for yourself.
I guess they think that minorities have a harder time getting ID. Do you think there's any credibility to that?
No, because I'm a minority and I have an ID.
You have an ID?
No, because anybody can get ID.
That's what I say.
Anybody can get ID. I think that's just an excuse.
I don't think it's discrimination at all. I mean, it's pretty standard. You have to have an ID in America, whether you're black, white, Indian, it doesn't really matter.
Do you have an ID?
Yeah.
And you didn't have any trouble getting it?
No.
Okay. I don't know. This is what I heard.
Oh, would you look at that? Perfectly sensible persons of color who think that voter ID laws actually make a lick of sense. Maybe that's because they do make sense, and because minorities are just as capable of understanding that their legal right to vote should be protected by basic requirements to keep non-eligible people out of the system. And if you need further proof of that, you don't need to look any further than Virginia, where non-citizens and unwittingly registered zombie voters have pretty much taken a hatchet to the integrity of our voting system. And that's your reality check, America. Happy voting. Thanks for watching. You can find more videos just like this one, as well as MRC TV's Dan Joseph and his Man on the Street interviews on our YouTube page or at mrctv.org. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and stay sane out there.